To begin with the deadly and mysterious explosion that shattered a quiet Indianapolis neighborhood. This is all that is left after the blast just annihilated 5 homes, leaving dozens of others beyond repair. ABC's John Schriffen is there right now with the latest on the investigation. Good morning to you, John.
Josh, good morning. There is a large police presence as investigators try to figure out just how this happened. Right now, nothing has been ruled out, but investigators are puzzled because so far there has been no sign of a gas leak in the neighborhood. This video shows the massive inferno sparked by the explosion that rocked this Indianapolis neighborhood late Saturday, reportedly killing husband and wife Dion and Jennifer Longworth and leaving at least 7 others injured.
Garage doors blown in, windows blown in, house completely leveled, nothing left.
This morning, investigators are frantically trying to figure out what touched off the blast, which could be heard for miles.
We can't speculate on what the cause of the incident was, whether it was natural gas or whether it was some other source.
Witnesses say it happened around 11 p.m. More than 100 firefighters responded to the scene as nearly 200 residents quickly ran into nearby streets.
It splintered my door. It looks like a war zone.
Ceiling falling in, garage door falling down, and just glass everywhere.
Officials say as many as 80 homes have been affected, estimating the damage at $3.6 million. Drew Smith from ABC affiliate WRTV saw the damage firsthand.
You can see that there are bulldozers out here. People are working, trying to get everything cleaned up. What used to be 5 homes are nothing more than rubble. And you can see the cleanup here is going to take quite some time.
And police have still not identified the victims, but this morning the Indianapolis Star is reporting that the Greenwood schools will open on a 2-hour delay so that staff can figure out a way to tell the students that one of their teachers has died. Josh?
John Schriffen in Indianapolis, thank you for that.
Here are some of the first images live from Chopper 13 HD of the destruction at the neighborhood there on the south side. This explosion last night, shortly after 11 o'clock, leveled 2 homes, and presumably that's what we're looking at is just what's left of the debris and the flattened foundations of those 2 homes that are now gone. There has been serious damage to the adjacent homes. We understand 2 of the homes nearby have burned, and then as many as 24 homes in this subdivision are damaged, everything from the home actually being lifted off its foundation to a broken window. We're hearing reports of throughout the neighborhood as you drive through, it looks like garage doors have been punched in with a large fist, and many of the garage doors have been knocked off their hinges.
And one thing that you should note, you do not see many people there in that neighborhood, and that's because police, firefighters, investigators, Homeland Security, ATF, all keeping everyone out of that neighborhood. We're talking about 200 people that have been evacuated from their homes. A lot of them had to stay with friends and family overnight, and some of them stayed at an elementary school, Mary Bryan Elementary School, as they needed help after having to leave their home. Now, as to how this happened, that question we're still trying to figure out this morning. We spoke with Citizens Gas earlier this morning here on Weekend Sunrise, and they tell us that a gas leak is possible in that area, but they have not been able to confirm that because they cannot get to the site of that explosion. And that is what you are looking at. That is on Field Fairway near Alcona Drive, and that's in the Richmond Hill subdivision on the south side of Indianapolis.
We're hearing there's damage to homes on Field Fairway, clearly, and then Alcona Drive and Tauhees Drive. But again, investigators have been on the scene overnight. They've been going house to house to make sure that there are no other people that were inside their homes at the time and were injured or otherwise. But so far we're hearing that 4 have been sent to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. There's another look at the map there on the far south side. Now, in the meantime, we've had crews at and around the scene. Let's go to Jennifer Carmack. She's live with the latest on how they're handling the situation with residents. Jennifer?
Aaron, thanks very much. We want to go and show you some absolutely amazing pictures. Chopper 8's been up all morning, and just really gives you a sense of how extensive the damage was. Steve Bray is there, and he is in the chopper, and he has been following this for us all morning. And Steve, again, not too many investigators just yet. There were some earlier, but right now it doesn't seem to be too many at the scene, are there?
No, there are a few people that are walking around, but it doesn't look like anybody's digging through the debris at this time. One of the interesting things, we're going to do a quick lap around, but I want you to watch this. You see these two houses here? They're on the opposite side of the explosion, or at least the front of the house is on the opposite side of the explosion. And look at those garage doors. We'll show you why those are blown out in just a second. But as you can see, there is a lot of debris that stretches across the backyards of those homes. And there seems to be about 4 homes that are severely damaged along this road, but then there are the homes that were completely leveled, 2 foundations completely leveled, and then the houses alongside them burned out. We've been able to count about 6 houses in this row that were severely affected, and then you see again across the street here, there's about 4 houses that are severely damaged. So in all, on our amateur status of being able to see this damage and being able to measure that damage, it looks like about 14 homes, but some of the damage obviously is not going to be able to be seen from this vantage point. But now I'm going to go back to those houses. Remember those garage doors that were blown out towards the opposite side of the explosion? This is why. Look at the backs of those homes. You can see how the explosion, the blast from that explosion, took out, at least on the house on the left, almost the entire first floor, and therefore the rush of air then went out through the garage door. And then the same with this house here. Not quite as much damage, but this yellow house here, just a severe amount of damage, basically taking out that entire first floor. So you can imagine for the people that may have been home in this house, along with obviously some of the others that were adjacent to the explosion, just the nightmare that had to become. We have no idea who those people are at this point, what their injuries were, and the stories that are going to come out from those folks that were in these homes that were directly adjacent. We did hear from somebody earlier that was involved in a house that caught flame, and those are adjacent on each side of those foundations, and so those are clear to see. But it'll be interesting to see in the next couple of days the stories and the horrifying moments that had to take place after this explosion happened, Dave.
Yeah.
Deadly explosion. At least 2 people killed, dozens of homes damaged after a massive blast overnight in Indianapolis. What went wrong? And at 11 minutes past the hour, let's get you a check now of the rest of the morning's top stories with Jenna Wolf. Jenna, good morning.
Good morning, you guys. Morning, everyone. A thunderous late-night explosion destroyed 2 houses and set 2 more on fire in an Indianapolis neighborhood. 2 deaths and multiple injuries have also been reported. About 200 people sought shelter overnight in a nearby elementary school. Flying debris and the shockwave from the blast damaged at least 18 homes. Investigators will begin looking for the cause of the explosion later this morning.
Hey guys, it's James. I got something to run by you guys. I need your opinions on this. This has been stumping me for the past few days. Me and my wife were out to dinner Saturday night with her parents, and halfway through the dinner we heard a loud explosion, and I'm not sure how publicly this has got, like nationally, but we live in Greenwood, Indiana, which is close to Indianapolis, Indiana, just south of it. We live in a town actually a little further south than Greenwood, but we classify ourselves as Greenwood. Anyways, we were eating dinner and we heard a loud explosion. It was so loud it rumbled our seats and our dinner table and the glasses on the table. We thought somebody ran into the building at the restaurant. So we go sitting there or whatever. We walk outside. Sure enough, it wasn't. And we look up and we see a huge cloud of smoke. You could tell something's exploded. It's majorly on fire. Well, we go back in. They call 911, the manager of the restaurant, make sure it's been reported. Obviously, the explosion that big, it's probably already been reported, but being good Samaritans, we took action and called. So after dinner, we walk outside, and smoke's even worse now. I mean, sirens coming from every direction, 20, 30 minutes worth of sirens nonstop. Another guy who lived right around the corner, and he said his buddy saw a small plane crash. Well, that's not unheard of because there's an airport a mile, 2 miles, not even a mile away from the location of where it crashed. Greenwood airport. It's a small airport. It's not an international airport or anything. So it wouldn't be unheard of to have an accident within that close to the airport. So, and then we got another call from somebody on the news 20 minutes later, said it was a gas line explosion. Okay, that's not unheard of either. So we drive by there. Obviously, all the roads are blocked at this point. You can't get through. Just chaos. We got as close as we could to the local strip mall that was right around about 2 blocks from the situation where the road was closed. And the police officer said that they're not sure if it was a gas explosion or a plane wreck, but it's leveled half of a neighborhood. Whatever it was, it's leveled a lot of houses. And we'll come to find out, there's a post, somebody posted something on YouTube about CIA drones that were flying over Indianapolis. Well, I watched it, and it made sense. We got a phone call saying my buddy seen a plane crash. This guy at the restaurant's buddy seen a plane crash. Okay, so then I get a call Sunday morning from another buddy who was driving from the east side of Indianapolis on the interstate and seen 2 or 3 aircraft lookalikes. Like he obviously didn't know what a drone was, but he's seen 3. He's seen 3 aircrafts flying. 2 of them were flying straight, and one kept jerking up and down, high, real high. He said it was just sporadically, like it was flying out of control. And then he pulled over to call 911, and while he was sitting on the side of the highway, felt the explosion. And he was 10, 15 miles away. So, and there's been reports of people 30 miles away feeling the explosion inside their house. So this has really got me interested in finding out. We're not going to find out because I'm not investigating it, but figuring out what's going on is driving me nuts. And the news keeps saying gas leak, gas leak, gas leak. Well, come to find out, 2 houses were completely leveled, 2 or 3 houses completely leveled, and like 80 homes with windows just shattered out. The force was so bad it shattered windows, buckled garage doors, moved I-beams in garages. It just crazy. So for them to keep pressing on the gas leak, and then to hear these stories about the CIA drones, I'm going to read a little from whatdoesitmean.com. Massive explosion reported after CIA drone targets Indianapolis. A chilling report circulated in the Kremlin this afternoon, released by the Aerospace Defense Forces, VKO, state that Cosmos 2479 detected the firing of 2 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles from an MQ-1 Predator drone yesterday, being operated by the Central Intelligence Agency (CIA) over the United States city of Indianapolis, resulted in a massive explosion, and from the local US media reports, resulted in at least 2 deaths. Cosmos 2479 is an early warning satellite launched in 2012 as part of the VKO-OKO program and monitors the U.S. from geostationary orbit from all possible threats, including the tracking of American airspace for U.S. Air Force and CIA fighter jets, bombers, and drones. Does this, I know my 2 sources that I heard from, my 2 friends, wouldn't just lie and say they seen aircraft crash. Obviously, if you don't know what a drone is or what a drone looks like, you could mistake that as a small aircraft, especially if it's a couple hundred feet, a couple thousand feet in the air. So to hear the news and the media keep pressing that the gas leak, and the gas company has already stated earlier in the investigation that they didn't see any cause or belief that there was a gas leak in the area. They're saying that the house had actually exploded. No one was home all day, so it was a gas leak. They're still doing the investigation, but it's throwing me off because obviously the CIA's not going to, and the government's not going to want this out there. But you and I all know that they're not going to take the blame for something that's their fault. I mean, they're going to cover this up, whether they have, with any means they can, to come out and say, yes, it was one of our drones that was targeting Indianapolis that exploded and killed. So far, it's killed 2 people and messed up at least 80 homes so far. That's just from what people has came in and reported so far. By the way, quit smoking. I'm vaping now, so you've seen my other videos. But I just, from all this, hearing this about people feeling it from 30, 35 miles away, like I said, I was a half a mile to 3/4 mile away in a big restaurant. I mean, it had bar joists. It was a solid brick place, and it rattled. I mean, you could feel it through your feet. The chairs, the table was rattling, and I mean, everybody's heart just stopped. We thought somebody ran into the building. And then for all these people, the media people, to be, all the press and media to keep pressing on this gas leak, gas leak, gas leak. If you don't know, it just pisses me off. If you don't know, don't press a gas leak. Why? Because the government has already told you, hey, let's cover, we got to start, don't say nothing, we got to start covering this up. And I just want to flat out say, all the victims, part of this aftermath, you've been in my prayers since I heard the explosion, because you hear an explosion like that, somebody's hurt, something's hurt, there's just devastation. I mean, and that's why I was telling my wife and my father-in-law, we were sitting there and I said, we're a half a mile away. If that was a plane crash, that could have been one minute second shift in the direction of that plane or whatever crashed, and it could have hit us. I mean, we had my 2-year-old son with us. I mean, them people were at home just chilling, watching TV, eating, whatever you do during the house. I mean, you're in your home, feel secured and safe, and next thing you know, you're exploded. I mean, your house is exploded. And like I said, the 2 people that were reported, at least 2 people so far dead. It was a school teacher and her husband, a Greenwood school teacher. She was a 2nd grade school teacher. Your family and all the other victims are in my prayers. Again, I can't stress that enough, because, I mean, you just sit there and think about that being us, that being our family at home. It's just unheard of. And then for these people, the media or whatever, to say they're not even reading the reports about this, I mean, about the drone. What do you guys think? I mean, is this something that the media is going to cover up for the government and the CIA? I'll post a link to the whatsitmean.com, the link I'm referring to, and it's starting to get everywhere now. I mean, it's out there. I just can't believe it's gotten that bad. I mean, that many houses destroyed, and just in a matter of seconds. And it took them all night to put out the fire. They were fighting the fire till early morning. And I mean, investigators are still out there, and there's no, so far, so far there's no definite answer what it is, but nobody has said it was a gas leak except the media. The mayor and the media, when the media was interviewing the mayor right after it happened, he said, we don't really want to rule this out as possible terrorist terrorist action or anything until we figure out what it is. So, and then the next report at 10 was it 10 o'clock the next night, 10 o'clock next morning, one way or another, they said we're still not weighing out what happened, that it could be this or this or this. I mean, but they never said anything about the CIA drone. But hearing all these other reports from other sources, it just makes sense. I mean, if you had a gas explosion, how come there's so many other people talking about this plane crash? I mean, people just don't make up seeing a plane crash, especially just John Doe people off the street that has nothing to do with the media, nothing to do with the government, nothing to, you see an aircraft flying low and then you feel an explosion. But the media and the government is hiding something. What do you guys think? I'm done rambling. Look it up. I'm going to put a couple of news links down in this whatdoesitmean.com link. Let me know what you guys think. It's boggling my mind. I mean, this is like SHTF stuff that we've known about these drones for a while, and now they're hitting, for me, too close to home. I mean, I was within a half, like I said, half mile. I felt it like I was sitting right, probably the house behind them felt. It was that crazy. It literally scared the shit out of me. But just let me know what you guys think. Have you guys heard about it? Have been reading up on it? Let me know what you think. Put your comments and your concerns down below. And again, I think they're doing, I'm trying to get over there to help volunteer, to help clean up the aftermath and help some of these families out and getting their belongings and stuff out like that. My grandma had a house fire a few years ago, so I know what it feels like to go through a house that has nothing in it and find what little belongings you can for your loved ones. So I'm going to try to get over there this weekend and do some volunteer work and help clean up. If I can find a link for the donations and you guys want to donate to I know the Red Cross is accepting donations, but I'm not sure if they have an actual fund for this tragedy. But if you guys want, feel free to donate to these families, because a lot of them has lost everything during this explosion of the so-called gas leak that we don't know is confirmed or not. I'm calling it the drone. So just let me know what you guys think. Something sounds fishy to me. I'll talk to you guys later.